All right, we are back with a vengeance, ladies and gentlemen. And in a previous episode, I promised that I was intending to declare war on Assyria somehow, because I realized some of the viewers might think that this game is getting a little too boring without any action going on. And I have to be honest with you. I think I've said this before. War style is not really my style. I'm not very good at declaring war. I'm not really good at managing war. I prefer to start my own cities because these new cities, especially the AI, usually the AI does not have the best city locations. I mean, yeah, Nimrud is probably the best way, but I mean, look at this. If I capture Nimrud, this one here, Halab, it's also not the best. I mean, look at this. It has only like aluminum, and this city will actually take away tiles from Nimrud. You can see here. I cannot take aluminum with Nimrud anymore because this city has taken it away. You can see Halab. So yeah, but regardless, if we capture Nimrud, we can gain 1 extra die, which by the way is not very important because I already have a lot of die. And in fact, Karkamish is probably the best one at this point because it will give us coal, silver, bison, and even this oil eventually. Yeah, I feel like Karkamish and Dur Sharukin is probably the best. But if you think about it, these two are very isolated and are going to be difficult to capture. Unless I have a lot of navy units. If I can have a bunch of, let's see here, if I can have a bunch of ships, we can probably capture these two cities without any land units, which can just use absolute navy battle. And you can just, place a couple of navies here. We're going to need a lot of these, frigates, like maybe 4 frigates and 2 triremes, 2 caravels, and a privateer. Should be enough to take Karkamish all by themselves. And after we take this one, we're going to move on to the Sharukin. Yeah. I mean, Nimrud is okay, basically because it's located on a river. And, that's the only thing that is really good about it. Also, it has very high population. Yeah, these are probably the 2 main reasons why I would want to capture it. But I feel like these two are a lot better. They have more resources overall, and their combined population is probably enough to be more than Nimrud. Yeah, and I really don't want to capture too many cities because look at us, we're doing pretty well. We're currently at 2nd place in pretty much everything, and there is no guarantee that capturing any more cities will get us any higher. In fact, right now, look, we're 1 approval, 1 literacy. Our literacy will probably increase. Our population will increase slightly if we capture more cities. But we can easily do this just by founding another city. I mean, look at this. We have a settler here. If we found this city, it will grow much faster than these. Yeah, it will grow much faster than Karkamish and Dur Sharukin. Yeah. And by the way, I want to apologize for Karkamish. In the previous episode, I have no idea how to pronounce this. I actually confused this with another city in Egypt. Karkamish, by the way, is a city, an ancient Assyrian city located along the border between Turkey and Syria, and modern Turkey and Syria, of course, where I confused this with Sharm el-Sheikh, which is a completely different city in Egypt. It's all the way in Egypt, and yeah, it was a silly mistake, but regardless, they kind of sound similar, if you, to be honest. Anyways, we're gonna start building a couple of things here, perhaps extra armies, or I actually want to start with the international games because we're a little bit falling a little bit behind on the international games. Let's see, it's only 9% complete, which is fine. Yeah, actually, we're not that far behind, to be honest. Yeah, let's go with the international games. We're going to try to focus on these. Just out of curiosity, what does the international games give us? Let's see. It will increase our tourism if we get gold, like double tourism for 20 turns, and the free social policy. So this time, the gold level is actually much better than before. And the one-time increase of influence with city states, it's actually pretty good for diplomatic victory. And the happiness plus 3 happiness is not really that important. What we really want is the gold. So yeah, we're gonna try to focus on this one for now. Let's see the international games. Although I really want to build the other stuff as well, but we can't just. I mean, if we had more cities, we could probably pump out a little bit more production than usual. But we're gonna have to handle this way. Let's see if there's anything we can build around here. We can build a farm, I suppose. Yeah, let's build a farm, which I think will give us like 2 extra gold. Yeah, it's probably going to give us 2 extra gold. All right. And before we declare war on Assyria, I just want to make sure that we have enough troops here. We should probably buy an extra cannon or a Gatling gun and put them in the citadel. Yeah, this citadel is going to give us an excellent defensive position. It will be very difficult to capture. and if any boats come along from this side, we can pretty much snipe them with cannons and stuff. So yeah, this city is pretty much safe. We just need one Gatling gun, one cannon, put them here, and it can defend itself. Meanwhile, we will use all of our ships to capture these two. Yeah, we're going to have a naval battle. It's most likely going to be a naval battle, which means we're going to be relying on these two frigates. I will build 2 more frigates and 2 more caravels, and then we will launch our attack. In fact, we have a caravel right there, and in fact, should probably upgrade this to an ironclad. Oh yeah, if we upgrade this to an ironclad, it will give us a huge advantage. I'm actually looking forward to this. But first, we're going to heal this. All right, let's heal this. And we're going to heal this one as well. Yeah, I should go back home now. I want to make sure that I upgrade them after they arrive here, because you know, these ironclads, they actually move slower on ocean. Hey, it looks like the Song guy is sent to me a great musician. They're trying to improve their influence over me, or their tourism. I just wonder what's their ideology. Let's see. Oh, they don't even have an ideology. Okay, and we have made a declaration of friendship. I hope they actually choose freedom eventually. Yeah. Anyways, you might be wondering why I did not declare war on Morocco earlier. The reason why is because they already have freedom and they have a very powerful city, so we don't gain much by capturing it. Actually, yes, we gain a lot of wonders, which is great. Yeah, wonders are excellent. But if I become enemies with a nation that has freedom just like me, it will cause a lot of chaos in diplomacy between us and the others, and you know, I just don't want that. It's just too much of a hassle. People will start denouncing me. My own freedom friends will start denouncing me, which is really annoying. So I'm gonna avoid declaring war on Morocco, and we'll just go for these guys. Yeah. Since we will not be capturing the Brood, even though it's kind of easy, I suppose. I just want to have like a small defensive force just right here in this region. We're going to start moving some of our... yeah, I mean, look at this. We have a lot of troops here. In fact, if we use the artillery, it should be enough to capture Nimrud. You know, we could probably capture 3 cities all at once. I'm not sure if our happiness can handle this, but it's worth a try. Also, I'm a little bit worried the fact that Numidia has 3 frigates. They actually have a reasonably large navy. And I'm pretty sure they have other units elsewhere. Alright, you have nothing to give me. Actually, I could sell you some oil if you want. I mean, you're a freedom guy, yeah? Let's sell you some oil. There you go. We have a lot of oil, a bunch of oil, let me tell you. And I'm not sure exactly how we got all that oil. How did we get so much? Do we have like some double resource thing, or I don't know. Oh yeah, we are just one turn away from building the Hermitage. After this is complete, we will... yes, they're actually very happy that... okay, first of all, they believe in autocracy, but they're very happy that we have suggested the embargo of Numidia. They're happy about that, my suggestion at the World Congress. Yeah, embargo Numidia, they're actually very happy about this. In fact, there are 6 delegates from 2 civilizations that will say yes. And the others are probably going to say no. Holy crap, yeah, world religion, Buddhism, this is a terrible suggestion. I think everyone will say no to this. I'm actually going to say no to this one as well. I don't care about the embargo anymore. I just want to say no to Buddhism. I just want to make sure that it doesn't get passed. And I'm pretty sure most of the other civilizations will say yes, say no as well. Alright, so we have completed the Hermitage, which means we get 5 extra tourism and 5 extra culture from this. Let's see. Actually, we get more than that, but alright, first of all, we want to return to default focus, yeah, because we want to increase our culture. We want to, yeah, get more specialists, very important. Okay, let's see the Hermitage. It should be around in the National Wonder, I think. There's no category for National. Oh, there it is. Hermitage. Plus 50% culture in this city contains 3 slots for Great Worship. Alright. And we actually have, yeah, plus 5 culture and plus 5 tourism. Because of our religion. In our religion, you can see here, I chose a long time ago. Yeah, Hermitage provides plus 5 culture and plus 5 tourism. We chose this a very long time ago, and we now have it. And our culture is actually increased significantly. Yeah, we will gain another policy in 4 turns. And I think I want to fill this up with as many works as possible. All right, so we can fill it with work of art or artifact. I think. I'm not sure. Just we want to gain the maximum bonus. So it has to be to maximize your bonus, make sure the great work slots are filled with art from different eras and different civilizations. All right, so it has to be only works of art. All right, so we have one work of art here. Okay, I think we're having a small problem here. Classical, medieval, Renaissance, industrial. Ooh, so this one is actually from Tartessos, which means... Alright, I did not pay attention to that one. I think I'm going to have to remove it and replace it with something else. Or we could just exchange the industrial one with... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to exchange the industrial, Renaissance, medieval, classical. Alright, what's this one called? Creation of Adam. Alright, we're going to exchange this with the industrial from Germanic tribes. I just want to make sure that we have anything from Germanic tribes. We don't want to screw ourselves up. Alright, so we have nothing from Germanic tribes in here. Yeah, we can safely exchange Riga, Mongolia, and Tartessos. Alright. Creation of Adam. Let's do this. I'm going to take your industrial. Yes, we're going to take the industrial from the Germanic tribes, and we're going to give them the creation of Adam. There we go. I think this should work. Alright, we're back to +4. Thank God. This is why our tourism has dropped to a low level earlier. I think this was the main cause. And it looks like we don't have enough great works of art yet. We might have to buy them, or... actually, I have no idea how we're going to get more. We mostly have these artifacts, which are not enough. They're all from the ancient era anyways. So yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah, alright, so our culture actually increased by 2 just by moving this one here. Interesting. Is there anything else we can do? Yeah, you want to concentrate most of your artifacts in the same city, so they will have... Yeah, you see that? I moved this one from here to here. This city has more culture overall, and it gave me +2 culture to my total income. Yeah, you see that? It's an interesting mechanic. Let's try shoving this one here. It actually dropped. Alright, so we're going to move it back. Yeah, so these, if you want to tweak your income, you might want to play around with these artifacts. Just experiment and see what you get. And this is how it works. Alright, so what are we going to do with this city? The hotel will be really important here, but I'm actually going to focus on the international games. We have already reached 330, and we're 90% completion. We want to reach more than 720, at least 720 if you want to win the silver. And I actually want to reach at least 1000 or something if you want to win the gold medal for this. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to try... I'm pretty much forced to force all my cities to work on the international games because we want to gain that industry boost. The tourism boost as soon as I can. Alright, so here we have the great scientist. I have no idea what to do with this guy. Yeah, there's really no... we could send him over into... Yeah, we should probably send him over to this side. Yeah, we're going to build the academy right there. And I think the city is going to handle itself in terms of food and such. Also, we have one settler there. You know what? I just remembered I actually made another settler here. And I was about to send him over this side. Yeah, because I wanted to... Yeah, it was next to a river. I wanted to grab one extra marble, the extra aluminum, and the oil. And in fact, there's even a wonder here, which would be interesting. So I'm not sure if our happiness will be enough to capture any cities from Assyria, because we're doing pretty well when it comes to colonizing new areas. So yeah, there's a little bit of a conflict there. But if we want to send anyone, we want to send an escort of troops in order to help that city-state, in order to help our new city. So we're going to send this Gatling gun. Yeah, let's send the Gatling gun. Why not? There you go. You're going to move this way. And we're going to send the settler as well. This way, yeah. I hope we don't come across any barbarians here. That'd be really annoying. In fact, you know what? We're going to send this Lancer. Yeah, screw it. Let's just send an extra Lancer there. Just keep this area safe. Where are we going to send him? I'm not sure. Let's send him this way. And if we have any idle workers, we can send as well. We can easily build extra workers in this area. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we pretty much completely... improved the regions here, unless we have like maybe these 2 tiles here. We have one forest, we have 2 hills actually. In fact, it means we want to keep this worker around in this region, especially since we get eventually we can get the atomic theory, which will reveal all the what do you call it, the uranium? Yeah, uranium. This one is idle. It's not doing anything at all. So we might want to send him. Oh, there's one unimproved hill right there. Alright. You know what? Screw it. We can eventually buy as many... We can buy an extra worker from that city when we get there. Yeah. You're going to stay here. Actually, I want you guys to position yourselves right next to Rimrud because you want to defend the city in case the Assyrians attack it. And yeah, we're going to reinforce you with a couple of what are these? Tartessian artillery. Alright, you're going to send the artillery there. Just want to organize all of my artillery, put them there. In case we have the opportunity to capture Nimrud, it's probably worth a try. Alright, you are going to be converting this city right away. There we go. And boom. We have a new city. And we have iron right beneath the city. We can actually upgrade these guys, and we have plenty of gold. You know what? I'm going to start upgrading my units. This is probably a good time for this. We don't really care about the Pentagon anymore. I mean, even if we get the Pentagon eventually, that does not mean that we can't convert these guys. So we are actually going to upgrade them all. Yeah, let's upgrade everything. Yeah, sure, we can upgrade it. Why not? They're very cheap, actually. They're cheaper than most of the other units. If you want to upgrade the artillery and the Gatling gun even more, it will cost you like 220 gold. Yeah, that's quite high, actually. I mean, look at this. The crossbowman to the... yeah, it costs 220 to upgrade this into a Gatling gun. But we're going to do it anyway because we have a lot of gold there. You're going to stay here. They have a pledge of protection from Assyria, I think, which means, yeah, we can't really ask them for tribute. But I would really want to bully them with something because, you know, it's it will give us that extra gold, which we might need. And I'm not really playing a game that really cares about these minor villages, minor city-states. Yeah, we don't really care about them too much. Yeah, it's a little bit mean, but it's fine. So what we're going to do here is going to buy the monument. In fact, we have a lot of gold, which means we can buy the workshop. It's probably a good start. Yeah, let's buy the workshop. And, of course, the windmill. Yeah, the factory is probably better, but... no, you know what? They're actually both equally better. Yeah, no, this one has... The factory has +4 production, the windmill has +2. But the factory actually takes extra coal. And most of the coal we have right now is not our own coal. This is coal that we have bought or acquired from other civilizations. So this is mostly temporary. It's not going to stay with us forever. And some of it is actually taken from city-states, which is even more volatile. Which means we probably should buy the windmill. Yeah, it's a lot. It costs a lot of gold. It's 1,000. And we're going to maintain a little bit of gold here just in case we found another city, which we're going to do shortly. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is to get the silk. And we're going to upgrade this guy as well. Alright, so we've lost a lot of gold. Look at that. Tartessian cavalry. Cavalry is very expensive. I think we have some cavalry units around here somewhere. Okay, so it looks like we have no other cavalry. I think there was one cavalry unit we sent to explore the land. I think he was supposed to be around here somewhere. Let's see. Where's my last cavalry? Yeah, so he wants a research agreement. It's a good thing that I'm making more gold than him, but yeah, this is going to lose me a lot of money. Look at that. That's fine. Let's do it. We're going to help each other. We freedom civilizations need to stick together. We're going to have to rely on this profit a lot because, yeah, we're going to have to convert Kathmandu as soon as possible. I think we have a bit of a problem here. I think I'm going to be forced to use this profit to convert this one as well. This is not something I really want to do. But you know what? If we use this profit to convert Nebrissa, we can then pump out an extra missionary and start converting the other villages. Although there's no guarantee that this might work. Yeah, the thing is, the missionaries, they cannot remove the religion previously established in another city. The prophets, on the other hand, they can exert absolute pressure. They can remove all other religions in the same city. This guy actually has 4 tiles. Okay, he can move 4 tiles per turn. He has a lot of movement. We're going to exploit that in order to move him as fast as possible on land. Alright. Construct plantation is going to take 7 turns. In the meantime, we're going to escort this prophet here. Infantry. Now this infantry is fairly powerful. In fact, I think these infantry units are enough to capture the city all by themselves. Yeah, look at that. 70 strength. That's really good. In fact, I think like 4 infantry units are enough to capture Halab and Nimrud all at the same time. And we're going to do just that. We're gonna position them there, and we're going to support them with this one general named Montgomery. Interesting. I think he's a famous British general, I believe. Alright, this settler is going to move out all by himself. Alright. Who else? You. I really want to upgrade them, but look at this, man. It's 270 gold. That's a lot. That's way too much gold. Fine. Alright, I'm just going to position them here just in case we attack. In the meantime, I think it's enough to rely on the frigates. Yeah, the frigates are fairly strong. I think they can, they can actually reduce the health points of Karkemish here. And, you know what, let's see how much. Yeah, they're actually very weak. My ships right now are not very strong. They can't capture this all by themselves. We need a lot more ships before we can capture the Karkemish city. We're going to move one step forward before we upgrade you. And here we have a caravan. So if we declare war on Assyria, I think they will be able to plunder my cities. Plunder my trade routes, I mean, yeah. So where are we going to send this? Let's see. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this caravan over into Nebrissa, and I'm going to establish a trade route with Zanzibar. Perhaps. You know, I think it's going to exert enough pressure as it is. So yeah, we're going to ignore that for now. Do we have a trade route with Mbanza Congo or not? I don't think we do. Yeah, we're not even. Yeah, if we send them a trade route, this will make them our allies, which we actually. You know what? That's a good idea. If we become their allies, eventually, yeah, because I have this trait from the ideology. Where is it? Yeah, treaty organization. 4 more influence per turn at standard speed with city-states if we have a trade route with them. So yeah, this is actually going to be very useful. We can make friends with Mbanza Congo, and eventually we can even make friends with Ashkelon, which will deprive Assyria from any city-states that you can send trade routes with them. Yeah, we can completely isolate them. And I think Mbanza Congo will join us in the war eventually. They will start sending units against Halab. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And this one is also under my religion, which is great. Yeah, and Nineveh is actually going to become under my religion as well very soon. And look at that, they're still making cities. Alright. Who's this? Somebody adopted an ideology. Songhai has adopted the autocracy, which is very unfortunate. We're going to have to just influence them as much as we can. Let's see. I think you're right. So Mongolia has a revolutionary. Oh dear, they have a revolutionary wave for order, which is a huge problem. They're about to topple. They're about to be to capitulate into the order ideology, which is a really sad day. The reason why is because we don't have enough influence over them. For order, yeah, I mean, there's not enough freedom regions that have influence over them. That's very unfortunate. I just want to make sure that Morocco is having a good time. Yeah, let's see. So they are influenced by me and the media only, which is good news. Is there anyone else with freedom? No, it's only the 3 of us. Order is going to be a huge problem. Everyone is preferring order right now. I mean, only Colchis wants freedom. Is there anyone else who prefers freedom? Let's see. We need to recruit as many freedom people as we can. Right now it appears only Colchis. These are the only ones who actually prefer freedom. And we're going to continue to influence them. I'm actually going to try to focus on these guys. Which means if I want to send any more great musicians, I'm going to have to send them here to Colchis. These civilization here. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult to manage the economy at the same time as, all these troops. I believe I was trying to move this guy off. Oh, so this is the one who was moving? Alright. We're going to send you the Gatling gun. We might need an extra Gatling gun here and there. So yeah, we're going to send them over to the dice. And I believe we have an extra artillery. Yeah, we're going to use him as well. Alright, we're going to send you here. You're going to be building the academy. There we go. More science, please. Yes, that's a lot of science. 430 science is pretty good, I suppose. What else? So right now we have like 5 academies and this one landmark. I just love building great tiles. They look so adorable. Look at that. Their design in particular. In fact, I'm going to remove this just to see. Wait. Yield icon has grid. Yeah, look at that. They look so prestigious. I mean, look at, they even have their own observatory building and stuff there. That's a really cool looking great tiles. And even here you have the landmarks, which is another cool tile. Do you have any other great tiles around here? I think we have like the manufactory down there. Yeah, let's see that. There's a manufactory here in Urso. Yeah. And when you remove the hex grid, the map looks a lot more better. Look at this. This is just so beautiful, the design. But unfortunately, I'm going to be forced to place the hex grid for the time being and the yields because it just makes everything easier for me. It allows me to see everything at all times. I just want to keep reminding myself of my objectives, which is why I keep them around. Alright, so how much have we reached in the international games? Just want to make sure. How much are we? You know, there's actually no way for me to... Alright, so we're actually at 697, still 33%. I think I'm gonna reach first place quite easily with this. Yeah, it's not even gonna be a challenge, it's gonna be very easy. Now, I believe Assyria should be affected by freedom as well. Because we have been in contact with them for a very long time, and they decide to choose non-freedom. Let's see. So they actually prefer autocracy. That is very unfortunate, man. I don't know. I feel like maybe they're not affected by Morocco. Yeah, they're completely unaffected by Morocco. How come that is happening? We're familiar with them. And we're familiar with us. Numidia is also familiar with them. Who else? Maybe it's Scythia. They're pretty much equally familiar with everyone. Except Morocco. So yeah, the problem is Morocco. They're still at exotic level with Morocco. That is just not good enough. And the reason why is because Morocco themselves don't have enough culture. I have 58. Yeah, we're not going to be able to compete very well when it comes to influence, when it comes to tourism. Yeah, the tourism is just too low for freedom overall. Look at that. Morocco is at 42. Well, everyone else is over 40. Everyone else is at 50, which is just ridiculous. How did they get all these great works? Maybe it's because they have... Yeah, Morocco is just being stupid right now. Look at that. They have like these two archaeologists, and they have one more. Yeah, they actually have 3 archaeologists. They're not using them for anything. They should be sending these out to plunder as many of these archaeology sites as possible. And, well, to be honest, I've actually taken them all for myself. Yeah, I've actually taken like 3 or 4 from this from this continent, so there's nothing left for them. But they should be sending them to other places. I believe there has to be another place around here somewhere where I can send these archaeologists. Just want to make sure it has to be somewhere. I mean, they could always plunder other continents. Yeah, there's this one huge continent here. And there's actually one over there. Yeah, there's antiquity site. Somebody should plunder this eventually. Anyways, we have this Gatling gun. We're going to keep him there. And we're going to go for the next turn. I just want to make sure that my settler reaches the... Yeah, I want my settler to reach this area as soon as possible. Not sure if that's acceptable or not. In fact, I only have like 2 silver, which is not really enough. I could give you some extra iron. Yeah, I'm going to sell you that iron. Actually, we're going to need that iron, so forget it. Yeah, let's just... I'm going to keep that silver, because I want to try to acquire more strategic resources from the other people here. Let's see. Ahmed Mansour has aluminum. We might give him some salt in exchange for that. Aitis actually has ivory. Hey, I wouldn't mind actually acquiring some ivory. We're going to do that next turn. I wonder if we can talk to him right away. Nope, we can't. Alright, so everyone is now denouncing Colchis all of a sudden. Yeah, some guy has denounced them. Mongolia has denounced them. Yeah, everyone has denounced them. So yeah, the AI, they just jump on the bandwagon and they start denouncing each other, even though they haven't hurt each other whatsoever. Yeah, they haven't even done. We are no longer the ally of Malacca. Ebula seeks a great admiral. Florence seeks sugar. Yes, another great artist. We need more of these, please. And we cannot buy stuff with faith, I suppose. No, I'm not gonna upgrade this. We barely have enough gold for this, so we're just gonna place him there. Just make sure we're prepared for the war on Carchemish on Assyria. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna move around eventually. And before we attack, I just want to make sure that all of our troops have the upgrade. Yeah, I think these guys have it. Yes, they do. They do. You're gonna stay here. Yeah, we're gonna upgrade this because they might become part of the attack on Halab and Nimrud. And I really hope that Mabanza Congo joins me in the war. So our influence with them will change by 3. It will rest at 3. We will gain 3 influence with them every turn until we become friends, allies, etc. Alright, so we're going to build a mine, I suppose. Yeah, let's build a mine. And a great artist. Excellent, we gained 5 culture just from that one artist. Gustav Kelibot. Or K-Bot, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce that. Alright. You have 50 strength. I think you're enough to capture this. We're going to upgrade you regardless. Yeah, let's do that. You have 2 movement speed. We're going to move you towards Kathmandu as soon as we can. Just want to make sure that there are no barbarians in this area. You know, I think we should convert this city somehow, but I don't want to waste conversion on from the profit on this city because it only has like 1 population. It's just not enough. Alright, you're gonna set yourself up and defend. You're gonna stay here. Yeah, look at that. If we want to upgrade this to a machine gun, we need 260 gold. That is way too much. Even though it's probably a good idea because this the machine gun is actually very powerful. But the real prize, in my opinion, is the let's see. There's actually the artillery unit, which what's it called? The rocket artillery. Yeah, that would be really good. Where's the rocket artillery? I don't remember exact location. There it is. Rocketry. We will gain the mobile SAM, which is an anti-air. It was anti-aircraft. The rocket artillery requires 1 aluminum. This is really good. A very good unit. It's a siege unit that can attack 3 tiles away. It has a movement of 2. But the most important thing is that it can move and it can attack. Yeah, it can. It doesn't need to set itself up. It does not need to be set up. Unlike other siege units, it does not be set up prior to firing, whereas all the other siege units, you actually need to set them up. Yeah, it has like this thing where you need to set them up. You can see there. Currently, they are set up, which means they can easily defend. But eventually, it will be very useful. I mean, we could just put 2 of them here, and we could just fire at Nimrud and Halab at the same time, without any fear of retaliation. And eventually we could support them with navy units right here, just in case somebody decides to attack them. So yeah, the artillery and the rocket artillery are just excellent, especially for siege. Alright, so this guy is about to arrive. And my settler is taking quite a long time to arrive. And look at that, Morocco actually has a great engineer. Leonardo da Vinci. Morocco has Leonardo da Vinci, ladies and gentlemen. Which is interesting. And they actually built a castle here, which is called the Casbah, their unique castle. Look at that, it's very beautiful. There's like grass and stuff all around it. It has its own backyard. Yeah, it comes with its own backyard. Look at that. Oh wait, that's actually from the, I think that's the Forbidden City. Yeah, this is probably the Forbidden City wonder or something. I'm not sure what that is. Or maybe it's a castle. Maybe it's the Red Fort. Yeah, I think I remember they were building the Red Fort earlier. I thought I wanted to get something from... Ooh, I completely forgot. I wanted to exchange that with Colchis. Let's go back to Colchis here. Alright, they still have the ivory. Before I forget, Keep forgetting, man. Every time I just click the next turn button, it's so addictive, and I completely forget to exchange resources with the other people. I'm starting to get worried. I'm starting to get worried about Morocco. They haven't used their archaeologists yet. This is actually costing them a lot of money to keep them around without using them. All right, but first things first. You still have the ivory. They believe in order, and they're kind of pissed off at me at the moment. Oh, they don't have any silver. All right. Maybe oil? But they don't want to give? Alright. It's your loss, good sir. Mongolia has some truffles. Alright, get some truffles from you, sir. There we go. A little bit of extra happiness goes a long way. Is there anyone else with some extra luxuries? No, doesn't look like there's anything. We're currently at 1,358. I think I'm the only guy who is building the international games at the moment. Which is just weird. So, you know what? Let's just build the castle. And here we're going to build the forge, the harbor. Yeah, let's build the harbor. Give us some extra gold and happiness at the same time. The Great General can stay there for a while. You two can stay there. You can defend yourself. We're going to try to move these guys all the way around. Yeah. This should be nice. So we have like 3 artillery units here. I think that's enough to take a couple of cities. Shouldn't be too difficult. Just want to make sure they all have the upgrade. Yes, they all have the altitude training, which will allow them to move a little bit faster on hills. Although they don't have a lot of hills here. Yeah, they're all tucked away behind the city. If they had any hills in this area, that would be amazing. It means we have an advantage in fighting. Yeah, these are all plains and such.